Okay, sir, let's dive into this. We begin our explainer on the World Bank's analysis of global debt. On this first slide, you can see the main title. The visual metaphor here is a large, polished globe wrapped in delicate but numerous golden chains, symbolizing the interconnected and burdensome nature of international debt. I see, sir. So, this is about the global debt situation? Precisely, sir. It's an overview of a critical warning issued by the World Bank.
All right, sir, let's move to the next slide now. Look, sir, the 3D object on this slide is a large, glowing question mark. It's constructed from many small, interconnected financial symbols representing the uncertainty and complexity surrounding the current debt landscape. The slide poses the central question of this analysis. Are we on the verge of another global debt crisis? This sets the stage for the entire discussion. Sir, based on the question, does this mean the report suggests a crisis is imminent? It suggests the conditions are present, sir, which is why the warning is so important. We will explore this.
Let's move to the next slide and see how this builds. Here we see the title for our first section, Sir. The visual is a golden lighthouse on a dark, glossy platform. It is casting a powerful, focused beam of light, symbolizing a clear warning cutting through economic uncertainty. This section will frame the report's main purpose. So this first part is about the warning itself, sir? Exactly, sir. We will understand the context of this strategic warning.
Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Notice the visual here, sir. It's a 3D model of the globe, with glowing golden arrows flowing from developed nations to developing economies. This illustrates the concept of international debt as a flow of obligations. The slide provides a clear definition of international debt. It is the money a country, either its government or private companies, owes to lenders outside its borders. Sir, does this include all types of loans? Yes, sir. It encompasses obligations to foreign banks, other governments, or international financial institutions.
All right, sir. Let's move to the next slide now. Look, sir, the 3D object here is a large golden megaphone, elegantly rendered, projecting stylized sound waves. This visually represents the report's function as a loud, clear, and official warning. The slide presents a direct quote from the source, stating the report's purpose is to be a strategic warning for policymakers. Sir, who are the policymakers this warning is for? This is for finance ministers, central bank governors, and leaders in developing economies, sir. Sir, there is a red exam alert box here. Yes, pay close attention, sir. This is important because exam questions often ask about the primary purpose or thesis of a report. Knowing it's a strategic warning is the key to framing your answer correctly.
Let's move to the next slide and see how this builds. The visual on this slide, sir, is a large, glossy spiral staircase. It has 4 distinct, wide steps, each made of a different material: bronze, silver, gold, and a futuristic chrome, representing the 4 historical phases of debt. We are now entering the second section, which will provide historical context by examining the 4 major debt waves. So we are looking at the past to understand the present, sir? Precisely, sir. Context is crucial.
Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Here we have a timeline, sir, rendered as a 3D path with 4 glowing nodes. Each node is a marker for a historical debt wave, showing the progression from the 1970s to today. This timeline outlines the 4 major phases of rising international debt that have occurred since 1970, with the current one being the 4th. Sir, the slide mentions previous cycles ended in financial crises. Did all 3 previous waves end that way? Yes, sir. The source material emphasizes that the previous cycles concluded with widespread financial crises, particularly in developing economies.
All right, sir. Let's move to the next slide now. Please observe the visual, sir. It's a tall, precarious tower made of glossy, dark green blocks. At the very top rests a massive, heavy golden sphere. This symbolizes the unprecedented weight and instability of the current debt situation. This third section focuses on what makes the current 4th wave of debt uniquely dangerous. Sir, does unprecedented mean this has never happened before? It means the combination of its scale and speed has not been seen in the previous waves, sir.
Let's move to the next slide. Here we have a comparison, sir. On the left, a stable, orderly stack of golden blocks represents past waves. On the right, a much larger, more complex and chaotic arrangement of glossy blocks represents the current wave. This slide contrasts the key features of past debt waves with the current one, highlighting that today's debt is broader, faster, and larger in volume. Sir, what is the most significant difference mentioned here? The most crucial points, sir, are the unprecedented speed and the sheer volume of today's debt accumulation.
Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. On this slide, sir, you see a 3D bar chart. The bar representing the current wave is dramatically taller and is glowing with a warm golden light, visually emphasizing its exceptional speed compared to the average of past waves. This chart specifically visualizes the unprecedented speed of the debt buildup we are in now. Sir, why is the speed of accumulation so dangerous? Because, sir, it gives governments and institutions less time to adapt their policies and manage the risks, increasing the chance of a sudden crisis. Sir, there's a red exam alert box here? Yes, sir, and this is a critical data point. In an exam, you may be asked to compare and contrast the debt waves. Citing the unprecedented speed of the current wave is a specific, high-scoring detail.
Let's move to the next slide and see how this builds. The visual metaphor on this slide is very direct, sir. It shows a large, golden gear representing a national economy. This gear is ensnared and stopped by thick, dark chains, symbolizing how excessive debt can stall growth. In this section, we will discuss the specific consequences if these debt levels are not managed properly. So this is about the negative impact on countries, sir. Yes, sir, the very real dangers that result from these excessive obligations.
All right, sir. Let's move to the next slide now. Here we have two symbolic objects, sir. The first is a small, wilting plant with golden leaves representing stalled growth. The second is a shield, beautifully rendered, but with a large crack through it, symbolizing a nation's defenselessness. The slide lists the two main dangers highlighted in the report: that excessive debt can stop a country's economic growth and make it vulnerable to unexpected shocks. Sir, what kind of sudden economic downturns are we talking about? This could be anything from a global recession to a sudden drop in commodity prices or a change in investor sentiment, sir. Things that a healthy economy could withstand, but a debt-laden one cannot. Sir, there's a red exam alert box here. Correct, sir. These 2 points are the core of the report's warning. For any essay question about the impact of the fourth debt wave, explaining how it stalls growth and increases vulnerability is essential.
Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. The visual here, sir, is an intricate but perfectly balanced mobile sculpture. It has glossy shapes and golden scales, all hanging in harmony. This represents the stable economic framework the report proposes. This final section will outline the report's recommendations to prevent a crisis.
So, after discussing the problem, this is the solution, sir?
Yes, sir. This is the proposed framework to achieve stability.
Let's move to our final content slide. We see a simple, elegant two-step staircase. Sir, it is leading upwards towards a glowing, stable orb. The first step is made of clear, flawless crystal for transparency. The second is made of solid, golden-laid stone for rigorous fiscal management. The slide presents the 2 core recommendations from the World Bank. First, countries must be more transparent about their debt. Second, they must manage their finances more rigorously. Sir, how does greater transparency help manage debt? It allows creditors, citizens, and policymakers to have a clear and accurate picture of the country's financial health, sir. This prevents hidden risks from building up unnoticed. Sir, there is a red exam alert box here, and this is perhaps the most important one, sir. If a question asks for policy recommendations, these 2 points, greater transparency and rigorous fiscal management, are the precise answer the report provides. You must remember them.
And now for our final slide, sir. The last visual is an open-ended pathway made of glowing tiles. It stretches forward into a hazy, uncertain horizon, symbolizing that the future is not yet written and depends on the actions taken today. We conclude with a provocative question. The report has laid out the risks and the solutions, but the question remains whether policymakers will act on this warning. So the report is a guide, but the outcome is not guaranteed, sir? That is the crucial point, sir. The report is a warning, not a prediction. The future depends on the choices that are made now. This concludes our explainer.